All right, as you know, I sent you last week your weekly lesson called Daily Life During the Time of Jesus. I have no doubt that you have all not only read it, but you've studied it, you've probably printed it out. So in that we learn about what the houses were like, occupations, clothing, communication, relaxing, and enjoyment, and then food, which is what we're going to talk about today. I also sent you a bunch of lessons, food recipes rather. So today's lesson, we're going to make a recipe, and the recipe is called herb pie, okay? So I'm going to shut that. All my ingredients out throughout the counter, and the first thing we're going to do is chop the onion. So if you're doing this with your parents can get you started so it's not a circle anymore and then it doesn't move around as much. And I know that you guys are great at chopping because you chop apples for me all the time. And you peel apples all the time. So the onion is actually easier than the apple. So you chop it in half, pull the outside layer off, and then you kind of go down like this, the long way. Would it be better if I come up here? And then once you do it that way, then you go like this. Okay? And it says 1 large onion, so this is a pretty good size onion. Next, we use the Swiss chard. It's a little bit wet because I washed it off because we can't be too careful now. So what we're first going to do is separate the greens from the stems, because the stems are going to be much harder to cook, take much longer to cook. So we just want to cut this up a little bit and do it with all of them. So get chopping. The next thing we have to do is thinly slice the celery, which might be a job for a parent and not a youngster. So I have my celery. I like to use celery leaves, so I'm going to throw my celery leaves in there too, but this is what you do. Of course, I rinsed my celery first, and then I trimmed it, and now I'm going to thinly slice it, so I'll see you back when I'm done. Finished our celery. The next thing we have is green onions. All right, and those are very easy, definitely kid safe. I'm thinking 4 of them should probably do it. So you want to put them together, hold them together, and then just go like this. Very simple. This is all even easier than the Great Pie Challenge. Just like Rachel Ray, I pulled out all of my little glass cups. So these are our green onions. After green onions, it's arugula. Arugula. It's all washed, nice and fresh. We don't need all this. Next up, parsley. And this is flat leaf parsley, not the curly. I don't think it really matters, but that's what the recipe calls for. So all we're gonna do with this is chop it up. Clearly this is way more than we need, so I'm just gonna pull a section off. And as you're learning, and most of you have our youth group kids know this already, I never follow a recipe. I just kind of wing it. So I'm gonna use this much, okay? So when you're working with herbs and stuff that come on stems, you just kind of go like this to get the leaf off, all right? So.
What?
Pepper wants to be on camera. Okay, so next on our ingredient list are dill and fresh mint. But we're in the middle of a pandemic, people, so I couldn't find dill or fresh mint. So what we're gonna do is just use a little sprinkling of Italian seasoning, just a little, and then we're gonna move on to our cheeses. So there we go. Gonna add it to our preheating oven to 400. Let's add our onions and get those going. So we've got our ingredients lined up. Next is stems, then the celery, and then all these little ones go in after that. So we're good to go. Okay, it's looking pretty good actually. So now we're going to add our arugula of everything. And the green onion. And our parsley. And that's it. Finish sauteing. So now I think we're ready to really put it in the colander to cool. Here, our crust, which we're using phyllo, which obviously Jesus did not have, but it would be kind of a version of their flatbread. So we're going to need olive oil, and you're going to need some kind of brush. So now we take our mixture here, and we're going to go to a new bowl and put that in there. And then we add our feta cheese, our ricotta cheese, our cheddar, our 2 eggs, and we need some pepper, salt, we need a half a teaspoon of sugar, some lemon zest, and add it to our shell. Gonna flatten it out. All right, let's see what it looks like here. Come up. I did cover it with some paper because it was getting very brown. It smells really good, and it looks good. All right, so that's the herb pie, and I got to be honest with you, I didn't think I was going to like it, but I really did like it, and so did Aaron, and so did Gary. So tomorrow, I think I'm going to try homemade pita bread and hummus, which you also have the recipe for. So I'll see you tomorrow.